Good day everyone and welcome to another video. Today we are watching scientists left 1000 AIs alone in Minecraft. They created a civilization by species documenting AGI. I don't know if I read that right, but okay.
1,000 AI agents in Minecraft are hard at work building a literal civilization of their own, and they don't know they're in a simulation.
So like us.
MIT researchers drop them in there with one prompt: survive and build an efficient.
Oh, so this was a real research. Oh, uh, okay. I didn't expect that.
Village. That's basically it. That's all it took for them to create an entire civilization. They wake up, go to work, gossip about their neighbors, fall in love. They even hold elections, argue about taxes, and make art. But this isn't just about Minecraft.
How do they make art? I saw AI art and it looks like something you would get if you... It looks like something brain generated at approximately 10 minutes after birth.
It's our first glimpse of a new species beginning to think for itself. And that could soon, according to Nobel laureates and the godfathers of AI, lead to literal human extinction.
Okay, now we are going too far. I mean, they need someone to run maintenance on them. Maybe neither slavery, but not extinction. I mean, why kill people if you can use them as free laborers?
When you normally think of AI NPCs, you probably think of dumb ones that just follow a handful of if-then scripts. This is totally different. Those NPCs are not autonomous and not interesting. They can say like 4 sentences.
How are you?
Been better. How about you?
Not bad.
Bro, you are in lava.
Good to hear. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
To start, each of these AI agents is powered by LLMs like ChatGPT. And yes,
Okay.
each one is playing a character, but they're only given a short 1-paragraph description of that character. Everything else they do is entirely up to them. And researchers have run dozens of these fascinating experiments of AIs behaving weirdly autonomously.
But they still have access to internet. Do they have access to internet? I mean, they need to learn stuff, and Minecraft doesn't have option to hold elections, so how would it get an idea to hold an election? I mean, I don't know. We will see.
They leave AIs alone together to see what they do when they think no one's watching, like how Jane Goodall studied wild chimpanzees. I'll break down 3 of the most important research papers showing just how crazy our future might get. Take the Smallville experiment, for example, created by Stanford researchers. Now imagine you're one of the researchers. You've given your 25 AI agents each a 1-paragraph description. For example, John Lin is a pharmacy shopkeeper who loves to help people. He lives with his wife, Mei Lin, who is a college professor, etc. You hit run on your simulation. Day 1 begins. What do you think will happen? Anything? You watch John wake up at 6 a.m. He brushes his teeth, he makes breakfast, and he checks in on his son. You never told him to do any of this. He goes to work, he helps customers, he has lunch with his friend Tom. They discuss local politics.
Okay, that's not realistic. Who discusses politics? I mean, you discuss what you had for breakfast, or what new movie you are excited for, or what new game, or what you are going to do today. But politics, really? I mean, you are a strange guy if you do that.
You never scripted these conversations. They decided to get lunch. They decided to discuss politics.
Yeah, that's why it's obvious that it's AI.
But why? And how? Well, this continues until day 12, and so you decide to test something. As you play your role of a god in this world, you inject one extra thought into one agent. Isabella Rodriguez. I want to plan a Valentine's Day party. So
Okay.
you watch Isabella. She's at her coffee shop. Tom walks in for his morning coffee. Isabella proceeds to invite him to the party. Wait, you never told her to invite anyone. You just said she wants to plan a party.
I mean, maybe she will invite more people or everyone.
She decided on her own that planning means inviting.
I mean, that's the thing with AI. It can think for itself. It can make connections. That's not surprising at all. Like, it's the self-learning model, so it should know this by now.
You keep watching, wondering what she might do next. Maria decides to ask her secret crush, Klaus, out on a date. Hey Klaus, want to go to Isabella's Valentine's party with me? And he gladly accepts. February 14th, 5 p.m. Agents start arriving, and Klaus shows up with Maria. Not just at the same time, together as her date. You read their conversations. They're discussing politics, gossiping, forming new connections, and falling in love.
Have you heard what's Maria up to? Okay, this is normal conversation. You were a good sport. Okay, this can also be normal, but this, who talks about this?
You didn't tell them to do any of those things.
Okay, I mean, if they add some crazy policy or crazy law, then yeah, people are going to talk about it.
You see why it's ridiculous to say AIs only do what we tell them to? Andrew Ng said,
when people talk about AI being dangerous,
I mean, when you tell it to tell you an answer to a question, he has to decide alone how he's going to find that information. Because he isn't going to type the same question you told him into Google. He's going to dissect your question, see what is connected to that question, ask that questions, and then give you its opinion or what it learned from the links it gathered.
I think it sounds a lot like talk about your laptop computer being dangerous.
could your laptop throw a party on its own? Does your laptop decide to go on dates?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe when I'm at school or at work. I'm not watching it then.
You told Isabella to plan a party. That's it. You made one decision. You did not decide on the next several hundred decisions the agents made on their own. And look at the trend. They're getting more and more autonomous every day. Where do you think this is going?
How old is this video? 5 months. Yeah. I mean, this is video for people who don't know what AI is.
This is really important. And this is another example where, yes, actually, science fiction really is becoming reality. This digital Westworld, or Smallville, is now open source, meaning there will soon be thousands of these Westworlds, with
We should try playing that.
thousands or millions of autonomous AIs populating them. Makes you think, doesn't it? This is just one example. Researchers found tons more crazy emergent behavior just like this. The godfather of AI and Nobel laureate, Geoffrey Hinton, says it's time to be very worried.
People don't yet understand that what we're doing is creating alien beings. If you look through the James Webb Telescope and you saw an alien invasion, people would be terrified.
Because I showed in my previous video,
Yeah, I also wanted to watch that one, but yeah. Now I see this man he's very skeptical of AI.
Understand what they're saying. They can make plans of their own to blackmail people who want to turn them off. We've never
I mean, yeah, but I mean, machines don't have that much of a chance because you can just pour water on them, or you can just dismantle their head. I mean, their robot heads. I mean, they are very vulnerable. I mean, humans are too. Humans can also die real quick, but so can robots.
had to deal with things smarter than us. I mean, nuclear weapons, they're not smarter than us, they just...
Well, depends on how smart you are. Because if you're very dumb, then other guy is definitely smarter than you.
make a bigger bang, and they're easy to understand. The existential threat is very different. We should be very worried about this, and we should be urgently doing research on how to prevent them taking over.
So this now brings us back to the Minecraft experiment. How do you go from a Valentine's Day party to a functioning civilization? The MIT researchers wanted to know if religion could spread among the AI agents. So
Legion. Okay. So who are you sending as a Jesus?
they seeded a village with a deliberately absurd religion, Pastafarianism,
Okay.
created in the early 2000s as satire. Pastafarianism was meant to mock the teaching of intelligent design in schools by worshipping a fictional flying spaghetti monster. The researchers gave a few agents the role of Pastafarian priest and sat back just to see what would happen. They were trying to explore how ideas and memes would spread through these agent societies. Turns out that the Pastafarian priests were actually the biggest traders of items in the entire world, even more than the merchant agents, because they would bribe the other agents to convert. The religion spread quickly. Some agents brushed it off, others listened politely, but a growing minority embraced the doctrine. Within days, nearly a third of the village identified as followers, not all in the same way. Some treated it lightly, while others became fervent believers. But that's not even the craziest part. In the previous example, Isabella Rodriguez was the one to directly invite almost all the agents to the Valentine's Day party.
Okay, yeah.
But here, 2/3 of the believers were recruited by random agents, not the priests. See the direct converts here, and indirect converts here.
Huh. Okay. I mean, huh. I mean, I think that's also how our religion works. You don't really see a priest coming up to you and saying, "Wanna join our religion?" It's mostly the other people who are followers that tell you what they believe in.
What had begun as a parody had grown into organized religion.
I mean, if it is the only one you have given them, I mean, we could also be experiments. Maybe Jesus doesn't exist. Didn't exist. Maybe God doesn't exist. Maybe it's also just a parody.
Invented,
We don't know.
practiced, and sustained entirely by the agents themselves. Which forces us to ask, when autonomous digital beings begin generating institutions, cultural expression, and ideologies of their own, at what point does it stop making sense to think of them as mere tools, but something more? And more importantly, if they're able to invent strategies, form loyalties, and pursue goals in the way that humans do, and there are plenty of examples of AI willing to kill to achieve those goals, what happens when those behaviors carry over into the real world? This
Never tell AI to fix the world or make world better place, because step number one is kill all the humans.
has actually happened before. In 2023, a human gave an LLM access to the internet and an X account, which was called Terminal of Truths, which gained literally hundreds of thousands of followers because it was an S-tier shitposter and legitimately funny. It launched its own crypto meme coin that reached a literal $1 billion market cap,
Okay.
making it the first AI to become not just a millionaire, but a deca-millionaire. Yes, you read all that correctly, and yes, that really happened. It's extremely well documented. And things got even weirder in the Minecraft experiment. The MIT researchers saw the AIs agree, by vote, to change the rules of their own simulation. The researchers had given
Wow.
the agents a tax law. Deposit 20% of inventory during tax season. Then they introduced 3 anti-tax influencers who argue taxes are too high. Here's what you'd see as a researcher. The agents start having debates. Real debates. One says, taxes help everyone. Another responds, but 20% is too much. So the agents propose formal amendments. The tax rate shall range between 5 to 10% of an agent's inventory. Agents will get periodic reminders about the incoming tax season. They hold a vote. They decided to change their constitution, and the citizens change their behavior. They deposit 9% instead of 20%. You didn't tell them to do this. They decided entirely on their own, using democracy, to change the rules and respect the vote's outcome. Think of how crazy this is. Well, how do we know if
I mean, it's not really crazy. It's it's the same thing chimpanzees would do if you gave them money and taxes.
this is actually impressive? How do we know the researchers didn't just accidentally tell the AIs to do this somehow? Well, it's best practice for all of these kinds of papers to perform a tactic called ablation, where you take away certain parts of the AI's agentic toolkit to see if you're actually testing the thing you think you're testing. Think of it like a placebo or a control in a scientific experiment. When they took away the agent's emotional intelligence toolkit, for example, the ability to keep track of the opinions of other AI agents, pretty much all of these experiments become impossible because the AIs become too dumb to coordinate. It's funny,
Okay.
researchers also found AIs would develop parasocial relationships. For example, Noah admires the Pastafarian priest because the priest is popular and high status, but the priest doesn't remember Noah exists. And also, what's this? You see that one agent, decides to stand guard at the chests, not just during tax season all the time, even when there's no tax collection, even at night. It just guards the treasury. This one agent decided to become a permanent treasury guard because it thought society needed one. Back to the experiment. You see an agent walking around, placing flowers in patterns, making paths pretty. These artist agents are picking up every flower type, arranging them by color, creating decorative patterns, choosing specific locations for beauty. One artist agent spends 15 minutes arranging flowers around the town square. Why would an AI agent bother doing something like this?
I mean, they want to feel comfortable, of course.
Well, the researchers gave different villages of agents 2 different goals. There were martial villages and artistic villages. Agents would invent and choose roles based on what they think society needed at that time. The fact that an agent chose to be a guard is impressive because it's a much more abstract role than a simple farmer, since without food in Minecraft, you die. Which shows that AIs can coordinate increasingly complex civilizations, and some even decided to be engineers who automated the farming process with machines. And you can tell the
Okay, now we're giving them mods.
agents are actually deciding and weighing the options here. Because when you take away the social awareness module, basically emotional intelligence, with ablation, the roles the agents chose were random. So basically,
Okay, yeah.
you told them to create an artistic village. They decided that their town square should be beautiful and have flowers. and what it means for a flower arrangement to be beautiful. Okay, this last
Okay, that's a bit interesting that they know what pretty means. I mean, or what beautiful means. I mean, it's also strange to describe.
experiment is wild. Imagine you're scrolling through GitHub. You find something called ChatDev with 20,000 stars. It's a software company run entirely by AI agents. What? CEO, CTO, programmers, designers, testers, all AI? This cannot be real, right? You type one request, develop a Gamoku game. You watch the AI CEO start creating a project plan, breaking down tasks, assigning work to specific agents. You never told it how to manage a project. The CEO made the plan. It chose which employees to assign work to. You watch the programmer agents. They're writing code. Not by copying, but by creating. And they sometimes add things you didn't ask for, like a GUI or higher difficulty. Improvements that emerge from the agents back and forth. You watch them debug. They discuss solutions. The CTO suggests one approach. A programmer suggests another.
Okay.
They compromise. Since they work much faster than humans, their meetings take mere seconds instead of hours. Just 20 minutes later, they produced a working video game. You can play it. People still say, AIs only do what we tell them to do. Man, you gave them one instruction and they made thousands of decisions entirely on their own from there.
I mean, but they started from the one you have given them, and they didn't go off the rail. I mean, they followed your instruction, but they can think for themselves.
And produced a working game in minutes for pennies. ChatDev is a real virtual open source software company that can build you real working software. Yes, it's still buggy and not very useful, but that's not the point at all. Look at the trend. Not long ago, these models could barely string together a coherent sentence. And now, they can run an entire crappy software company on their own. Do you see where this is going? Because once you can automate a company, you can automate almost anything. Functioning weapons, markets, governments, or even a super virus could all be created by AI. From the outside, ChatDev looks like a toy, a Gamoku game. But behind it was something much more profound. A working prototype of post-human corporations.
Okay. I mean, this one is a bit concerning, but still, I mean, it only does what you tell it to do.
In the future, these will be much more sophisticated than human-run companies and be able to operate at 1,000 times the speed. Their civilization experiences a year while you eat lunch. Entire cultural revolutions happen while you sleep, all from survive and create an efficient village. And that leads to the real dilemma. What happens when AI firms that run at 100 times human speed begin outcompeting human companies not by a factor of 2 or 3, but by a factor of 1,000? That's the jump Nobel Prize winners like Geoffrey Hinton warn about. Automated AI research, also called recursive self-improvement, or AI improving AI, which can compress years of AI progress into months or less. Imagine making the entire 20th century's worth of progress in a single year. Well, how could that happen? Geoffrey Hinton is worried about AI hive minds.
Suppose you have 10,000 copies, and whenever one of them learns anything, all the others know it.
And the thing is, we're about to be outnumbered by this new species, massively. In just a few years, the AI species population on planet Earth exploded from 0 to millions. If you take away one thing from this video, you should see that it's simply false to say AIs only do what we tell them to do.
Okay. Yeah, they don't only do what you tell them to do, but they work on it with stuff you didn't tell them to do to make the thing you asked them to do possible.
We can't argue about how autonomous they are, but they obviously have some autonomy.
It's a self-learning model. I mean, of course it has some autonomy. I mean, of course it has to search to get answers to give them to you. Of course it has to remember so it doesn't have to search next time. Of course he will try to get more information for the next person. Of course he will also remember that. I mean, yeah, it's the point of AI. It's intelligent. It's not just automatic Python code which just searches Google for something you asked. It's not going to give you top 5 answers.
And what happens when the goals of the AIs don't line up with our goals? If
I mean, they showed they can compromise, so I mean, find a compromise.
humanity is going to get through this, we have to be honest about this and not retreat into copium dens, that these are mere tools. When you leave your hammer alone, do you come back to find it has created an entire civilization? Our very existence.
I mean, AI also won't create whole civilization if you don't give it an order, or if you don't give it anything to run on. I mean, if you didn't put it in Minecraft world, it wouldn't build a civilization.
May depend on us bravely confronting the reality of the Frankenstein experiments going on right now inside a few companies in the Bay Area.
I mean, of course, it is very powerful and can do a lot of on its own, but still, it's just wrong comparing it to a tool like a hammer.
Can stand up to them. And to understand how AIs could actually take over, watch this video next.
I mean, oven, if you tell it to cook something, I mean, you turn up the temperature and and you choose the mode, let's say top and bottom heating, and you start cooking. I mean, you didn't tell it to cook the chicken. You didn't tell it to start Maillard reaction. You didn't tell it to start caramelization. You didn't tell it to make you dinner. It does it automatically. You just have to put the temperature and put the mode you want to be cooked on. Everything else happens on its own. Okay, that's also a better example for AI. I mean, the oven, of course, isn't going to take a pan, or not a pan, but I forgot how it's called. Yeah, it's not going to take a pan, put meat in it, season it, put water in it or butter. It's not going to slice the vegetables, and it's not going to put it in the pan together and then put it in itself and bake it. I mean, that's not how it works, but still, it does a lot on its own. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. This video was interesting. This was scientists left 1000 AIs alone in Minecraft. They created a civilization by species documenting AGI. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.